Yeah, good morning, everyone. So last session, we learned about some array methods, how to use different array methods. Array methods for manipulating array. Manipulating array, we learned how to read, how to add, remove, sort, copy, how to reset, make array empty, all these things. We will see one dynamic interaction, how we can do. So first thing, now yesterday we learned one more is how we can add elements into array and remove elements with general static values. Today we will see one example of how to control this dynamically how we can manage. Now while working with arrays, one more concept I explained, how to create elements dynamically and how to add elements into page dynamically. To create elements, we have document.createElement function. Already we discussed this. And how to add element, we have append child. By using that, we can add an element into another element. So first we have to create element, then we define the properties for that element. After that, we have to add the element. Now let's see one example how it works. Means dynamically how you can control array. One example I will show. Let's go to Visual Studio. So in our project, let's create one example for array manipulation. So I will add a new file, some array.html. Okay. So in this, let's add a little bit bootstrap options. Link, relation is style sheet, href, node modules, and bootstrap. Dist CSS, I am keeping bootstrap.css. Let's add some class container fluid. And here we will keep some heading like array manipulation. And we will create one div. In that, we will add a simple drop down. That means we will put a select. This select, we will make it as class as what form select. And it will have a size attribute. Will give us 3. Then it is not a drop down now. If you give the size attribute, it will be what? 1 second. So when you define the size attribute, it is going to be a list box. If you don't give size attribute, it will become a drop down. With the size, it becomes a list box. So here, I will keep a label and I will keep the label. So we will keep the label and we will define that cities. Some cities I have defined here. Some your cities. And this will be in a div. We will put a class form control label. a form label. Okay, and this is a drop down. So in a div we are adding. That is the drop down we are defining. Actually, this is the interface we are having. That is the array. You can see your cities, that is the list box. Let's keep here the class as W25. That's enough. That is your cities. Now here we want to display some list of cities. So those cities are dynamic. That means we can add, we can remove the cities dynamically. In that case, what I will do, we will write a script. So in that script, we are writing a array called cities. It contains some cities like Delhi, Hyderabad, some Mumbai. And I want to load all these cities into dropdown. So dropdown have an ID called LST cities. Into that list, I want to add at the time of loading the page. Now, not only that, that cities list must be added several times. When page loads, the city list must add. After that, whenever user adds a new city, again that city list must add. And when user removes a city, again that list must add. That means it is not one time. The city list must load several times. At the time of loading the body, after deleting a city, after adding a city, that list must be loaded again and again. So we will write a function called load cities. What this function will do is, whenever we call, it will load all the cities into dropdown. How to load all the cities into dropdown? We have to write a for var city of collection. Collection name is cities. So we are reading all the cities. Here we have to create an option for every city, because these cities must be added into list box. How to add any item into list box? Items are added into list box as option. So we have to create what? Option is equal to document dot create element. Which one? Option. Okay, what should be option text? Option text should be city name, whatever city is there. What should be option value? Option value also city. You know that text is what you display and value is what you submit. Right. Now here, after defining the property, add this option into dropdown. So document dot get element by ID LST cities. LST cities is list box. Into that append child. Which one to append? Option. Option is added. Okay, but load cities is not working now. Why? Because we have to tell when to load cities. When to load cities? First on body load. So body on load, we will write a function called what? Body load. We will write the script here. So function, what is the function? Body load. On body load, we have to load the cities. Then we will use load cities. That's it. That means when body loads, first time load cities will be called. When load cities is called, all the cities will be loaded into the list box. Now you can see list box is ready and list box contains all the cities. That's okay. Not only that, below this, I want to display how many cities are present. I want to display how many cities are present. Below this list box, I want to display a simple label. In this label, I will put a class called form label. The label have an ID. The ID is some LBL count. In that LBL count, I want to know how many cities are present. Then what we will do when in the load cities, we will write one more logic. Document dot get element by ID LBL counter LBL count dot inner HTML. In that label, I want to display cities count. Then how many cities are present? How do you get that information? Length, by using length. So we will put a here total number of cities, and we will put a binding expression cities dot what length. That is going to display total number of cities. It will say 4 or 3. How many are there? It will show that total number of cities are 3. It will display that information here. So now we are having some collection and we are loading that collection into a list box. Now user must able to add a new city into that list. That means we must able to add cities into the list. How to add cities into list? So above, I will keep another container and a class margin top 3, margin bottom also 3, like this. Here I will give a simple div with a new city, and here I will put a simple this is actually new city is a span. Okay, new city, and here I will keep a text box. Input type is equal to text. ID is equal to txt city, and class is form control. After that, I will put a button add, and this button will have a class btn and btn primary. Now you can see this is what you have. I will make this as an input group. So we will just use a class input group. Input group will keep all this combined like this, side by side. I will use this text as input group text. Input group text means it will come in this way. And this also I will keep W25. It will be like this. Now user can enter a new city. User can enter a new city, some new city, and click on add. When user click on add, this city he entered, it must be added and displayed here. Actually, this information is coming from an array called cities. Cities is an array. So this information is coming from cities array. When user enters a city and clicks on add, that must be added into these cities. That means you are not adding anything directly into list box, right? We are adding where? We are adding into array. Array will update here. So we are not concentrating on adding item into drop down or list box. We have to add into this array. So then automatically this will update here. Let's see. So we have to collect the city from text box and add into array. So what are the various methods for adding? We have push, we have splice, we have unshift. Am I right? Unshift. What is difference? Push will add as last item. Unshift will add as first item. And splice will add at any specific position. At any specific position. So what we are doing now, we have to write a add button, click event. Here one problem will come, I will tell you. Actually, when you added a new city, after adding, when you load cities again, every time what happens is the list in that drop down list box, it will add to existing list. That means already we have how many cities? 3. You added one more city. Then only that will not add. What it will do, it will add all the 3 again. And along with that 3, the new 4th one will add. That means the new list is always updated to existing list. We should not do like that. The new list should replace the old list and put the new list. I will show you the problem. See, we will write add button click. So on click is equal to what? Add click. Add click is a function. Okay, let's write a function add click. On add click, first we have to get city name, document dot get element by ID, txt city. Txt city is text box, dot value, what value they entered. After that, this city name must be added into collection. That means cities dot push. Which one to add? City name. City name must be added. That means the city name must be added there. Okay. Now, once the city is added, I want to show alert. So I will put an alert saying that. So here I will put city name added to list. This message should come. So, okay. After that, the city name you entered, it is still present in the same text box. I want to clean that. Then what you can do? Document get element by ID, txt city dot value is equal to empty. That means we will clean the value entered in the text box. Okay. Now, after that, new city is added, but that new city is not displayed in the list. Why? Because when you loaded the list, we loaded the list on body load. Na? We have to load the list again. After adding, the list should load again. Then we have to call here. What is it? Load cities. Now you see here what happens. You entered a name, some Chennai. I click on add. It says Chennai added to list. I say okay. But here you can see count is 4, but items are repeating again. So this list box should clean up every time whenever it is adding. So here in load cities, before loading the cities, we will clean up the list box. How? Document dot get element by ID, lst cities dot inner HTML empty. That means inside that, if there are any options, they will be first cleaned up. Then the new options will be added. This is good. Now you see, I am adding, so Chennai. I click on add. Then it is added. Chennai added. So click OK. Then you can see it will display. only 4 options are present. Remember, lot of doubts will come. For every doubt, there should be some logic. What doubts will come to you? You will immediately ask, sir, if already city is there, how? What will happen? That means I am adding again Delhi. What will happen? It will add it again. That means I click on add. What will happen? Delhi added. Number 5, Delhi comes again. Now, how to control? How to control this? How to verify whether that city is already there or not? We can do 2 things. How to verify a particular character there or not in a string? We learned string functions now. How to verify whether a particular character is present or not in a string? Tell me. How to verify whether a particular character is present in a string or not? How to check for a character in a string? We learned email, if you remembered. We verified whether @ is present or not. And we displayed invalid email if @ is not there. How to verify whether that character is present or not? String have a function called index of. We learned now. Char at, char code at, index of, last index of. So index of is to verify whether that particular character is present or not. If character is not present, what it will return? Index of will return a number. If character is not present, what it will return? It will return -1. You haven't practiced now? You have to practice all these methods. Remember, JavaScript interviews practical tests mainly arrays and strings. If you can't manage questions on that, you can't crack interviews. Majority of JavaScript interviews will be arrays, strings, functions. Arrays, strings, and functions. These are the main topics for interviews. You should be very strong in them. You have to practice. I will do one thing because we are still learning data type. Once we finish data type, I will give some practical tests. I will conduct some practical tests. I will give some task programs. In the class itself, you have to write them and show me. Right? So that I will conduct after we discussed data types. I will explain if you are unable to do. But what are asked in interviews, how they ask in interviews, that I will show you. Those questions I will give. You have to handle them. Okay. So how to find out whether a city is there in the list or not? Index of. That means what we have to do. So here, let me give you another option. In array methods, so another important is finding an element in array. How to find element in array? We learned find method now. You can use find method. You can use index of. You can use last index of. These are also used. What find will do, you know already. So it returns the matching value using a callback function. Now what index of will do? It returns index number of specified element. If not found, then what happens? It returns. If not found, it returns -1. So what last index will do? It returns last occurrence index number. That is what last index of. So here I will use that now. So let's do. So when you are adding, where you are adding, let's go. Here you are adding. This is adding code. From where adding is happening? From push. So here we will write one condition. What is that condition? If cities is array, cities dot index of which element? City name is equal to -1. That means what? It is not there. -1 means that city is not there. If it is not there, then add. I have to write all this logic, add. Else, if it is there, then what we have to do? We have to put an alert saying that here city name exists. This message should come. This message should come. This is the logic we have to implement. Now you see here, when I entered the city as Delhi, and here I click on add, then it says city Delhi exists. So it is not going to add again. Suppose I entered some Chennai. Okay, add Chennai added to list. Now it is okay. It is there. Now I am trying to add Chennai again and click on add. It says Chennai exists. That is very fine. Here still not done. Lot of other logics are there. We will gradually learn how to write the logics. Okay. Currently we are adding the cities. So we have some Bangalore. Okay. Add. Now the city added to that list, number 5. This is adding the city. Now I want to remove city. Then I will put here below this drop down, this one. Yeah. Below this, I will add one more div, class margin top 3. Here we will put a button. So we say remove city. And class BTN and BTN danger. Actually, we can link a bootstrap icon also. Link relation is equal to style sheet. Href is equal to node modules. In that bootstrap icons, font icons.css. In that delete button, I will put a span here. I will put a span and class BI trash fill. This will show a remove button like this. Now we will put another button below that here. So below that another button. So clear all like this. And class BTN and BTN, this is also danger. We have 2 buttons. Now we want this to delete the selected city. That means which city they selected, that city must be removed. How to remove any specific item from a list. How to remove elements from array. How to remove elements from array? What are the methods we have for removing elements? We can use pop, we can use shift, we can use splice. What is difference? Pop, last item, and shift will remove first. Splice will remove the specific item. So first thing, when user clicks on remove city, we need to find out at which index that selected city is present. So first you have to get selected city name, and after that we need to get the index of selected city name. First you need to get the selected city. After that we need to get the index of selected city. From that index you have to remove. So what we will do here on remove city, let's write the logic. For remove city, on click, remove click. Okay. So here we are writing a function. Remove click is the function. What should happen? First, we have to collect selected city name. Selected city name is present inside list box. That means document dot get element by ID lst cities dot value is nothing but selected city. That means which city you selected, that city value only it will come. So you don't need any special option. So you get the value means it will get the selected city value. Now I need to find out selected index. How to get selected index? At which index that city is present in array? How to get that? Cities dot what? Index of which one? Selected city name. It will get that index number. Now what we have to do? From that index number, we have to remove the city. So what we will do here, we will put an simple option cities dot splice. From which index? From selected index. From selected index, how many to remove? 1. That's it. After that, the list must load again. That means load cities. It should load again. Otherwise, it will not update. That means now you see, when I select Hyderabad and click on remove city, it is removed. Now total number of cities 2. Now the point, before removing, it should ask, are you sure you want to remove or not? If they say okay, then only it should remove. How to take confirmation? We need to use a confirm. Before removing, we will use a flag. This flag will use confirm. Flag is just variable name. Don't think that it is some special word. It's just a variable name. Generally, we use flag word for variables like true, false, right? Confirm, because confirm returns true, false. Confirm is nothing but here delete and the city name, selected city name /n. I will say, are you sure? So are you sure? Want to delete? This message will come. Want to delete? Question. Now, actually, this confirm will return true, false. That means if flag is equal to what? True. Then it should delete. Otherwise, don't do anything. No need to write any else, because delete should work only it is true. Otherwise, it will be cancelled. Nothing. You see now, I selected a city. Hyderabad, and I click on remove city. It asks delete Hyderabad. Are you sure want to delete? I said cancel, then it will be there. I click on remove city and I say okay. When I say okay, that will be removed. So I am adding some Hyderabad, new city, add, that will be added. So it is added into the list. You want to remove, then we can remove. For example, can we remove multiple? Actually, how to select multiple? Here I am selecting control key, it's not working. You know, in HTML you learned, in HTML to select more than one in a list box, you have a attribute multiple. Multiple will allow to select more than one. Otherwise it will allow to select only one. Now when I say multiple, you see I can select more than one. You can use control key to select random. You can use shift key to select all. Or you can even click and drag. Suppose I selected Delhi and Mumbai and I click on remove city. Then you can see, are you sure you want to remove Delhi? Only one is coming. I say okay. So only Delhi is removed. Why the second one is not removed? Because for that we have to write another logic to remove multiple. We need a for loop iterations to find out how many are selected. At every selected index, we have to remove. For that, you will learn for loops. In the next level, I will tell you for loops how to write, because you have to learn that in statements, right? As of now, you try one. Later, you will learn how to handle multiple. Okay. Suppose I am adding a city, some Chennai, and add city is added to list. Now we have 4. I want to remove that Chennai, select it, remove city, delete Chennai, okay, that is removed. Now I want to remove all cities. You know how to clean? So that means here, on click is what? Clear click. On clear click, we should not delete array. We should just clean the list box. Array will be there. Only the list box will be cleaned up. So then very simple function. What is it? Clear click. On clear click, what we will do? Document dot get element by ID. What is it? LST cities dot inner HTML empty. Or if you want to delete all the cities, then what you will do? To delete all the cities, what you will do? Cities dot length is equal to 0. We will set the cities length to 0. Once we set the cities length to 0, after that load cities. We are loading the cities. That means now what happens when I click on clear, it will be empty. That's a simple one. You can try anyway, right? You can remove that. I am adding now, so it will be added into the list. I am adding another city, it will be added into the list. And I click on any specific and remove, then it is removed. I click clear all, it will remove all. Here also you can write a confirmation. Take a confirm. Are you sure you want to delete all? Then on OK, you can do that, right? This is, you can implement. Now in this, we want sorting. In this, we want sorting. So that means here at the top, where is that your cities? Yeah. So here we are going to add a div class margin top 2, margin bottom 2. Here we are adding a button and so span class BI. and BI some alpha down, something like this. We have some alpha down. No, this is having like alpha sort. No, it's not there. Some symbol may be there. Let's check. Get bootstrap icons. Here I will search for the icon. What is the icon? Sorting. We have this one. Sort alpha down. Okay. Sort alpha down, sort alpha up. Okay. Those are the options. So what is that? Sort alpha down. That will be like this. We will put a button here with a class BTN and BTN what? Primary. Now you can see that is the sort. I will use another button. So this will be sort alpha up. This will be sort ascending and sort descending. Later, if we want, we can make it toggle. Toggle means once click, it will be ascending. Another click, it will be descending. I already showed you now how to create toggles. Already we discussed that example. You can try that. So here, what should happen on this button click? So that means on this button click, on click is equal to, we will say sort ASC, that is ascending. And here on click, what is it? Sort DSC, descending. These are the functions we need to handle. Now let's write the functionality. Now let's write a function. What is it? Sort ascending. What should happen? Cities dot sort. After that, load cities. That's it. What should happen? Function sort descending. Sort descending. First cities dot sort. After that, cities dot reverse. After that, load cities. It will display. Now you see here, I am adding another city, some Bangalore. Okay, I am adding that Bangalore. So that Bangalore is here bottom. I am adding some Chennai. Okay, add. That is added here. You can see that is bottom. I click on sort ascending. Then it will arrange Bangalore, Chennai, Delhi, Hyderabad, Mumbai. It is in which order? Ascending. I click on descending. So this is descending order. That means ascending order, descending order. So that is Mumbai, Hyderabad, Delhi, Chennai, Bangalore. This will be in ascending order. It will display. We can simply handle that. You can directly display in order while adding itself. When user adds a city, by default, it should be in ascending order. Then you can do that, ascending order. How? Just while adding itself, use the word sort. That means after adding, it will sort and display. That means before you load, what you do? When you are adding a city, here you are loading. Before loading, what you do? Just use cities dot what? Sort. So that while adding itself, it will sort. Right? For example, suppose Delhi, Hyderabad, Mumbai. I am adding some Chennai. Actually, push means it will add last. I say, okay, Chennai is added top. It is not top actually. It is depending on order. Right? Suppose I am using some Goa and add. So then, okay, Goa is added after Delhi. Because alphabetically arranged now. Alphabetically arranged. While adding itself, you can do. So this is manipulating your arrays. You want to remove, select and click on delete, remove city. Are you sure? Cancel. Are you sure? Then okay. Then it will be removed. This is technically how we can manage the list. If you can try this, then we have more complex later in examples, we will see them, right? This is one complete example. Let me copy for you. So this is an example for that. So how to create array, how to store data into array, read from array, remove from array, copy array, sort array, all these comes under array manipulation. Some more manipulations are there. We will see with combination, because currently we have only data. Suppose if anybody asks how to create a multi-dimension array. Multi-dimension array is nothing but an array inside array. Already we learned. Can we have an array inside array? In the beginning itself, I showed you that an array can contain any kind of data. It can contain an object. It can contain an array, or primitive or non-primitive. So this is all the important methods you need to know for arrays. How do we work with the arrays and all? Actually, we have to learn some more statements like for loops, while, do while. If you learn those statements with arrays, lot of more work is there. We will do that. For example, as I showed you, like how to delete multiple, how we can delete multiple. That means we have to know which options are selected, and those selected options must be removed. For that, we need some looping statements also. In the next levels, you are going to see that. So this is one important about arrays. I hope you are clear. So we just discussed about an array with general data types. So in the non-primitive types, we have an array type, which is used for reducing the overhead. Actually, these arrays are used for any kind of data. For example, suppose if anyone asks like, can we have array of images? We can have array of anything. But images means what? Images means image path. And that image path you can apply and display. For example, see, I want to load some pictures. Means some pictures we want to load. So that I will tell you here. See, usually what happens is loading picture and all, it's a different concept. Here, suppose we have some images. Let's copy some images. So I have in my computer, some images are present. These are some images, like we have M1, M2, M3, M4, M5, some images are present. I will copy these images and I will put in our images folder. So these are the images, and actually these are all JPG files. Okay, now what we have to do, we need to access those images and keep them so that we can handle a lot of interactions later with them. For example, see, I'm adding a new page, array, images, HTML. So here we are creating. Now what we are doing is, we are creating a simple div. In that we created a marq. I'm writing a marq. You know, HTML marq have scroll amount. Scroll amount is 10. In this, I have to load pictures. Those pictures must be dynamic. Into this marq, I want to load pictures. So marq have an ID called gallery. ID is equal to gallery. I want to load pictures into this marq. And Why? Because they are dynamic. Dynamic means after every few days, those are changing. Pictures will be changing, right? So initially, we will put a script and we will create an array of images. Images is an array. How to, or say photos. Photos is an array. This photos array, we have to have collection of some images. Collection of images means what? Collection of images means they are image path. That means you have to just mention the path. They are string type. Dot dot slash, or it is in what? Images slash m1.jpg. Second one, it is in images folder m2.jpg. Third one, we have images slash m3.jpg. We have images slash m4.jpg. Like this we have. So we have images slash m5.jpg. Like this, we have some 5 images. We want to load all these images into this MarQ. On body load, I want to do. So body on load. On load is equal to what it is? Body load. On body load, we have to write a function. So the function body load. On body load, what we need to do now? We have to read all the photo paths. So for where path is equal to path of collection. What is the collection? Photos. For every path, we have to create an image. How to create an image? Var img document dot what? Create element. Create element. Create element. Which one? img. What should be the img.src? img.src will be path. That path will be used as image source. And img.width is equal to some 200 pixels. img.height is equal to 200. Now this image must be added into gallery. Gallery is MarQ. That means what we have to do? Document dot get element by ID. What it is? Gallery. Gallery dot append child. That image. That means those pictures are added. Now you can see on body load. So when I load this, on body load, it should contain those images here. Those images are scrolling. We have those images. These images we haven't kept normally. These images we are dynamically loading. What is advantage is you can change images. Suppose at first place I want to change a picture. Then I will give some m6.jpg. In the first place, you see there is no image m6. Suppose I say m5.jpg. At first place, different image will come. Right? You can change the images. Dynamically, you can control. Later, I will show you how we can upload an image also. So that that image will display. Which image you want in MarQ, we can upload that dynamically and add. For that, we can add some techniques. Because actually currently we are adding what? Path. Every image means what? Path. Suppose actually, so here we are using, later we will learn other functions. Other function means, suppose when mouse is over, I want to pause this MarQ. Then you can try a simple on MarQ. We have a event called on mouse over. On mouse over indicates what should happen when mouse pointer is over. The current MarQ animation should stop. So you can access the current object by using this keyword. This refers to current object. This current object is what? MarQ. MarQ have a method called stop. That means when mouse is over, it will stop. And on mouse out means when it comes out, then this dot what start. These are the methods. These are ready-made methods. So when I move the mouse onto that mark you, when you move the mouse onto mark you, it will stop. When I move out, again it will resume. When I move the mouse onto it, it will stop. And move out, it will resume. For example, when I move the mouse onto it, it should zoom, right? It should zoom and display. Actually, for such things, you need CSS, right? That means in this marquee, you are displaying images. So what we will do is generally for this container, for body, in the body, I will write a style. Here I am writing style. So body height I will give as 500 pixel, display flex, and I given justify content center, align items also center. That will keep that in the center screen. That is going to keep in the center screen, right? So when it is going into the center screen, now what happens here is when I move the mouse onto it, it is going to stop and display that, right? So here, so this is mouse over. I need to zoom this now. I need to zoom that image. So we need to zoom that. On mouse over, we need to zoom this. How do we zoom on mouse over? Actually, what we do for image IMG, we have a hover, that is CSS. That means when mouse is over, we will put transition. So we have transition, transform. Transform first, transform scale. Scale is zoom. Scale is 2. That means when mouse is over, that scale is 2. Scale is 2 means it will zoom like this. And actually, I will give here marquee. So marquee is having padding as 100 pixels. That means more space around that will come. It will zoom like this. That will be large actually. When mouse over, I am doing lot of work. It will change to 2. Little bit means 1.5 you can add. After that, here I will give transition as some 2 seconds. That means it will zoom on mouse over of any particular image. It will zoom slowly and it will display that. This is zooming. Again, you want it to go back in the same order. Then what we have to do, image. For image, we will put transition again to 2 seconds. That means when mouse is over, on mouse is over, it is going to zoom slowly and out. Then it is going to zoom out slowly. Again, another image, it will zoom. On mouse over, if you want to show like some 3D effects and all these options, usually on hover, I will put a box shadow. Box shadow 10 pixel, some 3 pixel, some gray. That is the box shadow I am adding. Then you can see when I move the mouse onto that, any particular image, that means it will have like this 3D. That means on mouse over, it will show like a 3D. So it will show like this. That means it is displaying the images. On mouse over, it is configuring. You can add the interface like this. This is a combination of your CSS, your combination of JavaScript. You can handle this. So on mouse over, we are controlling the effects. Actually, here the point is images are dynamically coming. What is the concept here? We can add images. We can add images. Later, we can design that. That means we can ask, upload a picture. User will select a picture from his computer and upload. That picture will be shown inside MarQ. Right? We can dynamically do such things. But for that, some more concept you need to learn. This is an array. From an array, we are storing some image paths and you are accessing that. Right? This is one example how arrays are used in handling array manipulation. Right here, we are using a combination of CSS also, some little bit CSS that makes. Without CSS, can you adjust the height and width on mouse over? Yes. For that, what you can do, we can put image dot style dot height, or you can apply any CSS class name. That. So this is basically array related options. Remember, we learned only array with ordinary types. Later we can do with complex types. Complex types means inside array object, inside that object again array, so many. Already array in array, already I showed you how to create an array in array, how to access that, right? But some more complex we will see here. So this is all you need to know about arrays. I hope everyone is clear, right? So these are all the array manipulations, right? Some more manipulations you will see according to the new situations and options. So in the primitive type, so we have number, boolean, string and all. Non-primitive types we have array. Another important, now we need to know object type. In JavaScript, we need to know object. Now, when you know object, now your array can be more complex. It can be array of objects, right? Actually, what is an object type? How do we define object types? Usually, object type is nothing but, suppose we are defining, so .html, yeah, I'm writing a script here, and where TV is equal to Samsung TV. So where mobile is equal to, suppose some Realme mobile, something mobile. And here we have price is equal to some 23,000. Now the question here is, this price belongs to which product? Similarly, we have stock, true or false. This stock belongs to which product? That price belongs to which one? There is no relation at all. There is no relation at all. That means you can see, so TV, mobile, price, stock, all are not having any relation at all. So you cannot say that this price is this related to this mobile or this is related to TV. There is no relation. So this is the problem with the data. So what happened is, actually, we have object means object is a set of properties and functions. Functions is a set of properties and functions. Actually, object is to store, object is to store all related related data and logic together. Object is to store all related data and logic together. Actually, this object, so LNK, so LNK introduced the concept of object into computer programming in early 1960s. In 1960s, he introduced the concept called object. What many people think wrong about object is, many people think object is related to a concept called OOPS, object-oriented programming, OOP. Because many people just know that object comes from a class. That's what generally people learn like. But the concept of object was there before OOP was there. OOP languages, actually LNK introduced object, and Johann Ole and Christian Nygaard, these two people developed object-oriented programming. They developed object-oriented programming. That was in early 1967. Actually, it was formulated. So it was formulated with Smalltalk, with a language called Smalltalk. That is actually the first OOP language. Not Smalltalk, actually Simula. After Simula, Smalltalk. Simula is the first language that used object-oriented programming. Actually, object-oriented programming, you will learn later, it is developed by Johann Ole and Christian Nygaard, these two people. But they haven't invented the concept of object. The concept of object was invented by LNK. They just used that concept and they made it more better. But before OOP concept is there, object is there. So many people who are learning, they think that object is a part of a class. Objects will come from a class. But there is object concept without class, right? Technically, object is nothing but a set of properties and functions kept together. If, remember, actually, syntactically, object looks like this. We have LED. Suppose we have TV. TV is an object. Then all its related data is kept in a block. All its related data and logic is kept in a block. So you keep all the related data in this block. That means all the data that you define in the block that belongs to TV. And how to keep all the data? So data and logic is stored in object in the form of key and value, key value collection in the form of key and value collection. That means usually it will be like this. LED. Here we have TV in this. This is the set of object related things. Here we have key and colon, you have value. If you want another, then comma, we need to define another key and another value. All these keys and values are related to one object. So the main purpose is to keep all related data and logic together. And very important here, you should know that all keys are string type. And value can be any type. That means it can be primitive or non-primitive type. It can be any type, primitive or non-primitive type. And very important, if object comprises of only data, and no logic, then it is referred as JSON. JSON is JavaScript object notation. It is referred as JSON. If it is containing logic, no, it's not JSON. JSON is a format used to represent data. To represent data, it is a format. So if anybody asks, can you name another format of data? This is one format for representing data. Is there any another format of representing data? In computer programming, there are two popular formats for representing data. Actually, we have JSON and we have XML. XML is also the format of data. Actually, JSON is the latest format which we use everywhere. Earlier, we have to depend on a lot of XML. So that means keep all related data together. For example, I will show you. Actually, JSON looks like this. We have an object. This object contains a property called name, and in that we have a value like this. Another key called price, in that the price. So another property stock. Remember, these are all what? String type, and this is Boolean or any type. Later I will show you all type. This is JSON. That is how the data is represented. That means all these details belong to one. Now, similarly, we have XML. Actually, XML represents like this. We have product. In this product, we have name. Name is Samsung TV. And this is name. Then we have price. And price is this price. And after that, we have like stock. The stock is like true or false stock. And after that, we have product close. This is one product. This is how it maintains the data. Actually, in computer technologies, the data will come from any source in the backend in the form of JSON or XML. In JSON, the data is having a key value collection. So object is a key value collection. So how you can configure, how you can access, we will see that. But JSON is a format which is used for representing the data. In JSON, again, several classifications are there, like JSON P, JSON related other options are there. First, you should know JSON, right? Now, how to keep all the related data? See, this is not the correct. Then we will write like this. We will say where TV is equal to an object. In that name is Samsung TV. In that price is some price. And we have stock is true or false. We have cities is an array. It is again having Delhi and Hyderabad. In this, again, we have rating. Rating is again an object. An object inside object. We call embedded objects. Now here I am accessing rate is again a property again a property rate. Rate is how much? Rate is 4.3. And we have count. Count is how much? Some 3,500. These are all under one reference. So the main intention of object is to keep all related data together. Now, how do we access the data? That means you can access any key. So you can access any key with reference of object. You can access any key with reference of object. That means what we have to do, I want to print those details, document.write. How to print the details? You can print the details like this. So I want to print name. How do we access the name? Object name TV. That is the object name. How to invoke the members of this object? We use dot. Dot is called member invoking operator. It is called member invoking operator. It is used to invoke the members of that particular object. Member invoking operator. In that, we want name. It will access that. In the next line, we have price. And we have to define TV dot what price. In the next line, we have stock. So we are defining TV dot stock. In the next line, we have cities. So it is TV dot cities dot toString. I will just use toString. Or we know join and all string functions we can use. In the next line, I am using rating. Rating is TV dot rating. Rating is an object. In that object, again, two properties are there. We have rate and we have count. That means TV dot rating dot count. Like this, we are displaying. Now, this is all the details it is going to access and show. That means it is going to access and display. Now, what is the advantage of this object? We can reuse the object with a different type of data. That all we will see how to reuse and how to handle, right? First, this is a simple JSON type. We will learn how to keep this in a separate file, and we can access data from that file and we can use it, right? That we will see in the next session, right? Tomorrow we will do that. So first you try up to arrays. Object you can try tomorrow, right? Object related, so many other things are there with more complex content that we will see in the next session, how to deal with objects. With objects, we will see real-time API. Real-time API means we will see the data coming from databases, backend APIs, and how to communicate with them. Then you will get a more clarity on this. Okay. Tomorrow we'll see that, how to handle them.